John Lydon now, uh, all the way from a satellite hookup, and let's see how this goes. John, can you hear me?
I can, and I've been listening to you for about 5 minutes.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed it, John.
No,
No,
I've never
not at
been
all.
so bored in my whole life.
I don't blame you. So there is a movement afoot that I've heard that some people think you should get the knighthood. The guy who wrote "God Save the Queen" should get the knighthood. If they offered it, would you even take it?
If you think I'm going anywhere near a member of the royal family armed with a sword, no.
Are you saying after all these years?
I'm saying she cut my head off.
Oh, she'd cut your head off. I thought maybe you were going to take your own sword.
No, when you get knighted, that's what they do. They tap you
right
on the shoulder with a sword. That'd be very dangerous and risky behavior for me.
But
even though I've got nothing personal against them as members, as human beings, but it's the institution I never appreciated because it bleeds the country dry.
As an American, I think I understand because, we decided, I guess, a long time ago, hey, just because you're born to this family doesn't make you better than me. But a lot of people, I've got friends in England, visited England. There are a lot of people who think the monarchy is just this great national treasure that has to be preserved. But you never thought so, huh?
Well, if you think that, that's great. Let me sell it to you.
I've always said the biggest queen in the world, the biggest welfare queen in the world is the actual queen. John, in your book.
Yeah, look, it's not their fault that they're born into a gilded bird cage or that I'm born into a slummy old box. It's the superiority nonsense that goes on between that I can't tolerate. And it costs so damn much. And I mean, as a member of the Sex Pistols, I was paying an extremely high tax rate. So God save the Queen, it was.
Well, the tax rate had to
There's
do
a real bad echo on this.
There is. You sound like you're kind of like in a
stadium.
Like you're in the bathroom and I'm in the kitchen is what it sounds like a little bit. I can hear you fine. I can make out what you're saying, so I'm fine with it.
All right, well, I'll go on.
All right, good. You wrote a previous biography, and it's been 20 years since you did that. Why did you want to do another, John?
Well, I think I intend to live for as long as possible, and I do tend to fill up the years with lots of intriguing situations that unfold. So as long as I have a mind and a body, I will do that. This book, though, in particular, goes back into my childhood and absolutely states for certain what illnesses I had to endure and how that shaped my character. And that is very, very important to understand the persona of Johnny Rotten, aka Johnny Lydon.
Let me say, I know that I knew before reading the book that you came from a working class background, but I didn't know the level of poverty. But it was real poverty, right, John?
Yeah, no indoor toilet. I don't think it gets much worse.
You were bitten by a rat and got spinal meningitis.
Well, I played in rat's urine, yes, and that gave me meningitis, which then affected my brain. I slipped into a coma. This is all age 7, and then spent a year in hospital like a mindless idiot. When I came out of the coma, I had no memory of anything. It was like my entire life had been stolen from me. It took me 4 years to fully remember who I was. And that is an enduring thing and part of my personality, to forget who your own parents are. And then when you realize 3-4 years later, don't think that's a heartbreak that you can take easily at 8, 9, 10, and 11 years old. It left a stain in my mind of feeling subconsciously kind of guilty about that. I don't know, my parents felt guilt about it too. It's what I endured though, and it's formed the character I have. I had to believe that they were really my mother and father.
I'm trying to get my head around that, John.
A long time before I realized they really were. And so I depended on what people told me to be the truth, the whole truth and nothing but. And that has formed my character to this day, that I could never, ever deliver a lie to another human being because I know the pain that can cause.
You did not know that these people were your parents. You had to take their word for it, or the doctor's words for it.
Yeah.
Did stuff start coming back to you?
Very, very, very slowly. And this is why the book is called Anger is an Energy. Not only is that a line out of a song called Rise, but that's what the doctors recommended to my parents, was to keep me angry, not let me be comfortable or wallow in self-pity and just carry on not knowing anything.
Yeah.
And that anger slowly but surely did spark little pieces of memory. And when the jigsaw puzzle was finally filled in, that's pretty much
John,
overwhelming for someone of my youth then. It was very interesting, though, because I got an opportunity to see myself from the outside looking in.
John,
And it's made me a better person.
I would ask you if you're still angry, but I think I know the answer to that question. So let me ask you this: are you angry in the same way you were when you were 20 years old?
I'm not angry about that particular situation. I'm actually just sad that it happened. I'm angry about when I see situations of the disenfranchised, unnecessary poverty, class separation, class distinction, poor education. These are issues that I take personally to heart because I come from a very poor background. I know what it is to endure through that. I had to learn to re-educate myself at 8 years old.
Do you
and without a library system, because I couldn't rely on the schools, I wouldn't be able to have read and wrote my way out of it.
Do you think, John, that some people who come from a background of poverty, when they succeed, when they make money, they respond to that by becoming very materialistic because they didn't have anything when they were growing up?
Well, then I'm the immediate contradiction to that, because I'm not the kind of fella that will waste money on a Lamborghini.
No, you don't have 20. You don't have 20 sports cars.
No. My wife drives a Volvo, which I bought for her. And that's it.
I want to ask you about Neil Young, because you talk about Neil Young in your book, and while in the 70s he wrote a song, "Hey Hey My My," that goes.
Actually, it was the 80s.
Was it not the late 70s?
No, it was the 80s or the 90s. It was fairly recent.
All right,
Russ never sleeps.
It's "Hey Hey." Well, the lyric goes, "The king is gone, but he's not forgotten."
You need to wrap it up.
This is the story of Johnny Rotten. Yeah. That seems like a sincere. I don't know. Was it a compliment? Was it? How did you take it?
I have no idea, but I know that at the time I was doing a show for VH1. It was called Rotten TV, and our people approached.
You need to wrap it up. The guy called me.
Would he come on and let me interview him? And they denied knowing me in any way, shape, or form. But I'm pretty damn used to people being snobby to me in the music industry. It's always been like that.
Well,
the very few that do talk to me, believe me, I love and adore them for it. But generally speaking, it's the cold shoulder. I've said far too much that's too honest for just about hardly any of them to bear.
Well, listen, this just scratches the surface, because you talk about a lot of the people in your life, and you talk, and you don't lie about it. You just tell it how it is. So the book is...
Yeah, believe me, if you've lost your memory for 4 years, you can't afford to lie anymore. Everything is vital. It has to be the truth, or else you lose your point and purpose all over again.
All right,
and that's the motivation of my character. And some people might find that very difficult to be around, but that's how it is for me.
That's Johnny Rotten for you. That's John Lydon. All right. The book is Anger is an Energy, John Lydon's new book. Check it out. And a lot of pictures and a lot of great stories. So thank you, John, for being on with us today.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.